Hi folks, Howard here. Welcome to Complexity Unraveled. If this is the first time on this channel, we cover a wide range of topics from technology, megatrends, business venture, to macroeconomic and social issues. To put it differently, we are interested in topics that are complex in nature and of great relevance to the society. On this channel, no one will ask you to like, share, or subscribe. So please click on nothing, smash nothing, and buy nothing. If you share our interest in this kind of topics, please give us 15 minutes of your attention and we promise to make it worthwhile. Since you are here, you most likely have already seen or heard the headlines like the super app is coming or this and that will become the next super app. As if the super app is just around the corner. In reality though, it might be a little bit more complex than many would like to believe. Today, let's dive into this topic, super app. Since we want to maintain a concise format, we have to split this video into two parts. In the first part, we will start with the basics and answer the question, what is a super app exactly, and what makes it so unique? In the second part, we will look at its rise to stardom and discuss the future of super app in the Western society. So, before anything else, what is a super app exactly? We often hear names like WeChat, Alipay, Grab, or Gojek associated with the term super app, which was coined by BlackBerry's founder Mike Lazaridis back in 2010. He defined super app as a closed ecosystem of many apps. Even though more than 10 years have passed by, this simple definition remains quite accurate to a large degree. Nowadays, so many things are being labeled as super app, but not all of them are following the same principle. In order to provide a clear picture, let's use this framework to guide us. Most of the apps are designed for a single purpose, with a dedicated function in mind. For instance, Skype is designed for personal communication. Twitter, on the other side, is designed with mass communication in mind. This is what we call standalone apps. When multiple apps with related functions group together, we have the so-called app suite. Even though these apps also have dedicated functions just like standalone apps, they work best when integrated with each other. Typical examples would be something like Microsoft Office Suite or Adobe Creative Suite. Well, starting from here, we're slowly entering the super app territory. A single app with multiple functions under one umbrella. The popular apps from Southeast Asia, like Grab and Gojek, are following this exact principle. Both apps started as ride-hailing application, and later expanded into adjacent fields like food delivery, grocery shopping, service booking, utility payment, etc. Instead of focusing on a single application, this type of super apps offers a wide range of services bundled together by the company. The service offerings are often built up on some sort of common foundation, like digital payment or mobility service. Nevertheless, the spectrum of service offering is limited, since they are primarily developed in-house. With all that being said, the most essential characteristic of a super app, the ecosystem, is largely missing in all the aforementioned examples. The true super apps are in a league of its own, the Chinese league. And I'm not even sure whether we should call them apps. In many ways, they share more similarities with operating systems like Android or Apple OS than with any other apps. Using WeChat as example, in and of itself, it already offers a wide range of functions like messaging, social media, digital wallet, mobility service, civil service, and so on and so forth. But what makes the Chinese super app stand out is the ecosystem. Unlike any other apps, the Chinese super apps are open platform for third-party developers. And the support for third-party application at scale is what profoundly transformed the Chinese super app from just a powerful app with a wide range of functions to a full-fledged ecosystem that evolves over time. I mean, I'm fully aware that ecosystem has long become this empty buzzword. More often than not, there is simply no substance to it. But let's go through a customer journey together before writing this one off. Let's say you work for a tech company in the heart of downtown Shanghai. Today, instead of going to the cafeteria, you wanted to have something nice for lunch. You opened up the mini program in WeChat and went through the recommended restaurants near your office building. You decided for a steakhouse and made a reservation. You were in a rather lengthy meeting this entire morning and just wanted to enjoy your lunch undisturbed. So you specifically asked for a table in a quiet corner. You called for a cab, and based on your GPS location, it would take roughly 10 minutes for the taxi to get here. You felt quite sleepy. While walking down the stairs, you ordered a large cup of coffee at the shop in the lobby and picked it up on your way out. Your taxi wasn't there yet. While waiting, you went through the latest update from your favorite content creators and shared some of them with your buddies. You didn't sleep well in the past few days and decided to get some healthcare consultation. During the ride, you had a brief conversation with your physician. Based on your description, he suggested that it might be stress-related and recommended trying a special herbal tea that is known for its relaxation effect. But just in case, he also made an appointment for you to have a physical. You ordered the recommended herbal tea online and hired a gig worker to deliver it to your office this afternoon. Upon arrival, you paid the taxi fare with your digital wallet. Sitting at your table in the restaurant, you opened the lunch menu by scanning the QR code in front of you, made your order and payment directly. While enjoying your lunch, you were watching tech reviews of a foldable phone that you have been interested in purchasing. You finally decided to pull the trigger and clicked on the integrated social commerce link. And lucky for you, it was even available for group buying. Since you got such a nice discount, you decided for same-day shipping. Just before leaving, your buddy texted you and asked whether you want to go to a concert this weekend. I mean, why not? You sent him the money for the ticket in the chat and finally made your way back to the office. Some people might wonder, what is so special about this? I mean, we have Foursquare and Google Maps for location-based service, Uber and Lyft for mobility service. The digital payment side is clearly covered by Apple Pay and Google Pay. If you don't know, both Venmo and Cash App can be used for sending money. There are so many apps for video clips. For instance, both YouTube and TikTok. Also in the case of social commerce, you can do it with Instagram. The social media space is more than crowded. From Facebook to Twitter, and let's not forget the newcomers like Snapchat or Tumblr. You have WhatsApp and iMessage for messaging, Teledoc for telehealth. Even the gig economy has some strong contenders like Amazon Flex or TaskRabbit. I mean, it's more than reasonable to ask, what's so extraordinary about this customer journey? Indeed, for every single activity, we do have suitable apps. The only difference is that, in this entire customer journey, you have never left WeChat, or had the need to switch to another app, not even once. That in and of itself is more than significant. This kind of frictionless experience is part of everyday life in China. It's hard to figure out what you cannot do with the Chinese super apps. Let me share a few stats to show you how impressive they are. You can find over 3.4 million apps in the Google Play Store. And Apple Store offers us more than 2.2 million apps. On WeChat, just within a single app, you can find more than 3.2 million mini programs, which are essentially lightweight applications developed by third party. There is more on mini program in the second part of the video. For the time being, let's just move on. In 2020 alone, the digital transaction processed by WeChat and Alipay exceeded $60 trillion. With over 1.2 billion monthly active users, WeChat accounts for 34% of China's total data traffic. Look, it's not a mistake. WeChat is responsible for 1/3 of the entire data traffic in China. You see, every day, more than 45 billion messages are sent using WeChat, and almost 70 million videos are uploaded. 90% of Chinese professionals prefer WeChat for workplace communication, and 70% of Chinese rely on WeChat for personal communication. In terms of becoming essential to people's life, it doesn't really get better than this. Here's the thing. Smartphone is arguably the most dominant consumer electronic device. We spend almost 1/3 of our waking time on smartphone and mobile apps. Each smartphone is estimated to generate 60 GB of data annually, and there are more than 6 billion of them in the world. With smartphone alone, we are generating over 330 exabytes of data every year. To put it into perspective, in 2020, the global datasphere, which is the total volume of all data created, captured, copied, and consumed, is 60 zettabyte, or 60,000 exabyte. This means smartphone and app usage alone makes up for more than 5% of the entire global data volume. I know 5% doesn't sound super impressive, but please bear this in mind. We are talking about the entirety of the data volume. And in addition, the data on your smartphone are highly desirable because they are considered personal information which can be linked back to individual. People often say data is the new oil in the age of connectivity. How much would be 5% of all the data created in the best possible quality worth for? I would say a bona fide treasure trove for every tech company. From personal data, unique identifiers, to activities and location information, it would surprise you how much information is collected by simply using products and services from big tech companies. Just to be fair, first and foremost, the data are used to personalize their services and improve your experience. But there's no denial of the existence of more sinister motive, since we are becoming increasingly enslaved to the internet by psychological manipulation. And until recently, data brokers could buy and sell your data behind your back for a juicy price. Even though this practice in and of itself is morally and ethically questionable, it's pretty obvious why companies want you to spend as much time as possible on their app, and leave as much digital footprint as possible for them to collect. They are fighting for your screen time. After all, in a Western society, people have in average 40 apps installed. And one thing for sure, they have put out all the stops: behavior science, neuroscience, psychology, algorithm, UI and UX, even infrastructure. Tech companies spend billions of dollars to make sure their app is stickier than the others. Now you see my point. Think about the Chinese Superapp: social interaction, entertainment, leisure, e-commerce, mobility, nutrition, healthcare, housing, utility, finance, insurance. Every aspect of your life, every activity performed can be found on a single platform. It's not an exaggeration to call this the Holy Grail. And there's no wonder that there's such hype around the next super app. In the second part of this video, we will look at the reasons behind the spectacular rise of super app in China, and share some of our thoughts on the future of a super app in the Western society. Thank you for tuning in, and take care.